we're setting up. Hey y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going to trim and wash and go. So please stay tuned. We're actually going to do a curly cut on her, or cut it while it's in its curly state. She only usually wears it curly, so we're going to trim it that way, and then we're going to do a wash and go. Now she likes to do her wash and goes with mousse. Keep it kind of soft, and the mousse gives her a great hold. So we're gonna go through those steps. We have wet her hair already. It is saturated, and we're gonna just go through with some Design Essentials HCO leave-in conditioner. I am Jamie from Curly Girl Coach. So you can find us at www.curlygirlcoach.com. All of the products that you see me using, you can find them there. And also, yeah, so let's just get to it. So I like to, she pretty much wears the middle part, and I like to go ahead and part off of the place that we are going from the middle. Give me just a second. So we're gonna part from the middle and part her sides off here. Don't forget to go ahead and like this video, share it with someone that you think this might be helpful for. I always like to part those sides off, and then we'll start with a section in the back, because you know we want to make it a little bit more manageable in order to work with as little hair as possible. So then I'll drop our first section in the back here. Now you want this section to be pretty even, and when you're doing a haircut, you do want to make sure that the person's legs are not crossed, because crossed legs give you an uneven cut. So let's pull that out. And to make an even part, that might be a little helpful. Okay. And we'll just clip that away. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a very light detangle. She wants her hair to stop at about, let's move this to get something flatter. She wants her hair to stop at about shoulder length, and not a bob, a traditional bob, but it's gonna be a little bit shorter on those sides. Okay, hi, thanks so much for tuning in. So we are gonna give it some tension. I know those people who do curly cuts like to let the hair kind of fall where it lives, because curly hair is just, you know, the tension is different, right? So you kind of want to give the hair a chance to rest where it's gonna live. And sometimes I have people go ahead and come with their hair in its wash and go, or how they wear it. But today we're gonna wash and go for you, right? So this is our first section. Got a good guide. So we're gonna drop that next section and use it to go ahead and get that next section. Now, this is of course not gonna be as traditional as a regular haircut. Why? Because of less tension, right? Because we know her curly hair is going to have different tension points because it's curly, right? Certain pieces of hair might be longer, certain pieces of hair might be a little shorter because of more or less curl. So because she does not wear her hair straight at all, it's not going to be as big of a deal. Now, if she were someone who liked to go between wearing her hair short and wearing it or straight and curly, this cutting it in this state would be a terrible idea, because it's one of those situations where when you straighten the hair, it's not going to be straight. And you don't want that. But you want her curls to look and be visibly even when it's in its curly state, right? I try not to walk over the camera, but it's so hard. I never know where to stand. And we're gonna go ahead and get those sides even in there too. She showed me one of the last cuts we did. She might come a couple times a year, maybe a couple times a year, maybe.
I feel like 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times a year, just to get it shaped back up. But it grows so incredibly fast, and yeah, we're gonna keep that good bob shape. On those ends. Oh, let me turn her so y'all can see what's happening. I'm really not trying to be on camera today because I'm not that camera ready, but that's all right. We'll start long here, but we are going to give her a little bit more layer in just a second. On this side too. Oh, straighten that out. So when we actually do apply her product, we're gonna do the LOC method. And the LOC method is really just going to be to lock in moisture. And what that is, we start with the leave-in conditioner, which we sprayed some on it already. But the thing about when you have curls or curly hair and you're doing a curly style or styling it in its curly state, you want to make sure it's nice and saturated. So by the time we go back through to put product on, it's going to be too dry just from the cut. So we're gonna have to absolutely wet it down some. Okay, so from here, we're just gonna take vertical slices of her hair and start with this center and we'll cut here. She wanted a lot more volume than she had, so we're definitely going to give her that with this bob, because it was a little bit flat. So we want some additional volume. So be sure to like the video, share it, comment, subscribe, or hair comments, please. You know, I usually sometimes can get some non-hair related comments as well. But yeah. Can I cut your hair for you because it's too long? You're gonna have to make your way to Greensboro and I will be happy to cut your hair for you. This long, well, this top part, we're gonna keep that a little bit long. We gave the bottom a little bit more texture so she could kind of be not stacked, but kind of layered in the bottom. So it wasn't as heavy down at the bottom, but we're not gonna take nearly as much hair off the top. If you see this top layer, so we're just gonna kind of round that out so it can blend in. And then you'll see once we add product for her, it won't be as, it's not going to be nearly as big, but she won't have, her hair won't be as flat as it was, which will be nice for her. So she wears a middle part. So, well, how much I've taken out already? Yes, 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 yes. Like every time you come in with a whole new head of hair. Yes. So I'm gonna turn you to the front. If you're okay with that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So she wants to keep it, she likes these little bangs, the little bang situations in the front, but we're gonna go ahead and take some of this hair off this front section and sides. We want to keep some of that length. But blend it in with the back. Yes, it did not hit the floor. That always makes me happy. Because when my combs hit the floor, of course, they're dirty. Can't do anything with that. But it just fell on her, so we can still use it. This is definitely not her full cut, but what we're gonna do is after we put our product on, then we're going to go back through and see where everything is falling. And then from there, we can just shape it to where we want it. We can just shape it where we want it. So let's turn her back around for a hot second. It's not even up here. Huh, yes it is. Curly hair can be so deceiving. Especially when you are cutting it in its curly state. Things can appear even and not be. So we definitely have a lot more volume than we did. I don't know if y'all were here from the beginning and saw how flat her hair was. Get my big shears for a second. Okay. Okay, so we're here now. Let's blow some of these curls off her shoulders. And yeah, okay. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and clip off the sides, because actually, let's go ahead and respray it down with the Bamboo and Silk HCO. We definitely want more moisture in her hair. It might seem like I'm spraying a lot, but her hair has almost literally dried. Okay. That is the first step of the HCO method, a spray leave-in conditioner, okay? The second step is a cream moisturizer. I'm using Influence Moisture Lock, and we're just gonna put a little bit of that in our palms, emulsify, rub it together, and put it through the hair. Now, this cream moisturizer, and in conjunction with the leave-in conditioner, is just gonna help the hair retain moisture. Imagine the LOC method or the LCO method being like your underclothes, right? So you wanna always put your underclothes on before you put your clothes on. And in this case, your clothes are the product that we're gonna use, which is the mousse. The last step that we're gonna do is use an oil. You can use the oil of your choice. In this case, we are going to use lavender and marula by Design Essentials. Lavender is very good for hydration and moisturizing. So we go through the hair like so. And it's just going to help seal and lock in that moisture. Now that we have done that, we will clip off the hair on the sides for control, just like we did when we started. Got our two sides, clip those off. And if you've seen me before go live, I pretty much have the same steps for parting out somebody's hair, because it just makes it easier. Okay, take that top section. These don't have to be perfect at all, just smaller sections. Depending on how fine or how thick the person's hair is will depend on your sections. In this case, we can do 1/2 inch sections. Then we're going to use Design Essentials Almond Avocado Curl Enhanced Mousse. Okay, and then we'll just put it on that section. Go through with your fingers. I like to use curl brush, and we actually need a little bit more saturation here in general. Spray that down. Now I'm not gonna stay here to diffuse, unfortunately, because it's just a whole thing and it takes forever. So the biggest thing when you're applying your curly product, be sure that the hair is very wet. Okay, so next section, remember I did respray it with that leave-in, but it's not enough moisture. So that's the #1 mistake anybody can make with doing their wash and go or their curly hair routine, whatever that looks like, is not having enough moisture. So we're gonna go through, put that leave-in on, and then do the curl enhanced mousse. After that curl enhanced mousse, we're going to start combing it through. And what you're looking for is curl clumping. Okay, when the curl clumping starts, you know you're doing good. And then you can encourage those curls by scrunching. Some people like to shingle, and shingling is just taking a piece and like separating those curls with your fingers. You can also do that. That helps to encourage those curls by separating them. Let's do our next section. Of course, be sure that it is very moisturized, very wet. You can do this with leave-in conditioner. You can do this with water, whichever works best for you. And make sure it's nice and moisturized and you got a lot of product. I know it seems like a lot, but to me, my curls, I don't get a lot of wear out of my wash and go unless I really saturate that product to begin with. So you can use your brush until you see the curl clumping, and then scrunch those together, separate if you like. Let's go to the next section. Half-inch sections are fine for her. On my hair, my curls are a lot tighter, so I typically use more like 1/4 inch sections. So you judge by how easily you're able to work that product through. If you feel like it's taking a lot of work for you to get that product through, or you're having to use a lot of additional product, then maybe you should use smaller sections. And I don't know if we'll be live. When I'm diffusing though, what I do very often is go ahead and let it either air dry or dry under the dryer until it's about 80% dry. And then I finish with the diffuser. Because to me, that gives it makes the diffusing process a little bit better. But we're not gonna do that today. But just know her curls will be curlier once they are completely dry. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for me. And while we're here, I want to go ahead and let you know about my upcoming book. We'll be releasing on Black Friday, called The Curl Code. Okay? It's giving natural hair secrets, natural hair tips, no matter what your curl type, kinky, curly. And I'll be posting the information to go ahead and sign up for the wait list. That'll be in my community, and I'll put it in my bio. So you see, we're still just applying that product, and we're gonna encourage those curls by scrunching them. Get our next section, drop that section. Everybody's wash and go is different. Mine takes so much longer than this, but depending on your hair type, your curls, it definitely makes a difference. And I'm sure you can see as I'm working that product through some of those longer sections. But we'll go ahead and fix those once we do our second cut. Any of those stray hairs. So our last section in the front, or in the back rather. Make sure it's heavily saturated. And just work that product through. She's got so much more volume than she did. So much more volume. Because the length that she had before was kind of weighing those curls down. How long does this last? Everybody is different. Some people can get a week out of their wash and goes. Some people can get 2 weeks. How long does your wash and go usually last?
I get like good 4 days out of it.
4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm meticulous, I think a week.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like really determined to keep it.
Yeah. And then to me, how long a wash and go lasts is gonna depend on how firm of a hold the products that you're using too. Mousse to me is more of a moderate hold. It's not firm, it's not light, it's kind of somewhere in between, right? So I like to wash and go my own hair, but again, my curls are tighter with more gel-based products. And even though my hair might start out kind of crunchy, like the first couple of days, I like that because it gives me more hold, which is how I can get a 2-week style, or a good week. So it might start out crunchy the first couple days, and then it'll definitely loosen up, which is what happens sometimes when people use more gels and things like that with the mousse, because it's just a medium hold. Sometimes you don't get as much, but to me, you definitely start with hair that is much softer. Still defined, but softer, which is nice. And you see those curls just popping. We got some heaviness over here we're gonna get rid of in a few shakes. And then we're gonna add some more oil. Sometimes if you're experiencing more frizz than you would like, incorporating more oils to your routine or a heavier oil might be essential. In this case, I only started with a light amount of oil just to work that product through, but we're definitely gonna give her some more in a hot second. Okay, can y'all see? Yeah, here we go. So let's clip that up. Now, though I trim after, definitely leave the trimming to your hairstylist. I would not suggest that you go home and start cutting your own natural hair. You know, I do cut my own, but that's a little different. So I know there's a lot of videos with people doing it themselves, and I love that for them. But it is my recommendation that you just go see a professional and let them cut it for you. And you see, we're just still working up the head. So I like to kind of go in these vertical sections. Again, it just ensures all of the hair is getting product, all of the hair is being touched, and in a systematic way. So if we were gonna diffuse or sit under the dryer when she comes out, I would give her a little bit more oil. But I'm gonna do that on camera with you all. I didn't spray that. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share, comment. All the things. And you just see what a difference their product made. And what usually happens as the hair gets older, it will get bigger and frizzier. Thank you. It'll get bigger and frizzier. So, if you're not liking how big the hair is, you just take your spray bottle, spray it down so it gets smaller. So when I said the additional oil, this is how you're gonna do it. Put it in the palm. Thank you. Put it in the palm of your hand. I have quite a bit of oil, if y'all can see that. I don't wanna emulsify it. Rub your hands together and scrunch it through. Okay? You're just gonna scrunch it through. Again, that's going to encourage those curls and get that product in the hair. So I'm gonna now go through and cut those pieces. I'll move that for a second. That don't want to hang out with their friends. Head down. Okay. How do you feel about that?
It has attained the shape.
Yes, yes, it has.
There's always a silhouette that it says
Mhm.
it has achieved it.
Yes, yes. So the very last thing that I do before she sits under the dryer is we're just gonna give it a nice spray of the S3 spray to add a little shine to it. It also has some UV protection, which will be nice when she's sitting under, going outside and all those things. So we like the shine. And of course, once it dries, she's just gonna have a fluffier version of this. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to our quick wash and go cut tutorial today. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe. You can find me at www.curlygirlcoach.com along with all the products that I used today. I will take an after video after we have dried her hair, and I'll probably post that tomorrow. So thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.